Hi there, this is Christy Nichols with Venture Within. This is your midweek motivation. This week, talking about something big. Who out there is feeling exhausted? And I'm not just talking about sleepiness or tiredness, but physically, mentally, emotionally, maybe spiritually drained. This has been happening to me. It's been happening to quite a few people I am connected with. I see it on the posts of professionals and friends alike. There is a lot going on, and there always is a lot going on, but sometimes we let this energy, this forward momentum, take over and exhaust us. So when we have a lot on our plate or a lot on our mind, we will feel stressed, which can then turn into emotional suffering, which also turns into physical symptoms: headaches, sore throats, bad stomachs, exhaustion. Those are all symptoms of what happens when we are expending too much energy. And it doesn't mean that what we're putting our energy towards is hard or bad. It just means that we're giving too much of ourselves without giving to ourselves. And that's really hard to do in this day and age, actually, is to remember to take time for ourselves. Even if the things that are going for us are really great, maybe we love our job, maybe there's a lot of social events with friends or family, maybe there's progress in certain areas of your profession, whatever, these exciting things actually can sometimes be even more draining because we just feel compelled to stay involved, to keep the momentum we feel from pursuing these good things, with work or with our passion projects or with family. We want them to keep going. We want to keep feeling good. And so we keep giving and we keep saying yes. And what we're not doing is refilling our own cup so that we can enjoy the things that we're so busy with. So today's midweek motivation speaks to those of you who are feeling exhausted and overwhelmed, particularly if you're feeling exhausted and overwhelmed about things that you might feel guilty about being exhausted for. We do feel guilty and we can feel ashamed of being too tired to do the things that are really fun, that we really love, that actually, if done right, actually energize us. So today there's 3 things I want to offer you to do when you feel yourself not enjoying the things that you typically enjoy, when you feel yourself resisting and struggling to put more energy into your day, when you feel overwhelmed by your schedule, and when you feel like your body is starting to fail you. When your body doesn't want to wake up, when your body starts to give you this tickle in your throat, when your nose starts to run for no reason. These are all signs that something's gonna give, and it's either gonna be how you expend your energy or it's gonna be your physical, mental, and emotional self. And we don't want that to happen. We don't want to let ourselves down. So 3 things you can do to help manage and restore your energy when you're feeling this sense of exhaustion and overwhelm. First thing to do is to take a break. Easier said than done, I know. I had a yoga teacher, was he Hungarian? Yeah, this is when I lived in Australia. He would say, every day you need 10 minutes of meditation. And if you're a busy person, you need 30 minutes of meditation. And if you're too busy to meditate, then you need an hour. Actually, probably someone like Buddha or somebody else, maybe Rumi. Somebody said that, and he probably repeated it, but the message is still clear, right? If you are too busy to meditate, then you probably need to sit for an hour. And the beauty of giving yourself time to do nothing is that does restore you. That does actually let your brain catch up with, or let your emotions or your thoughts catch up with the part of your brain that's constantly moving. Sometimes we get into a state where we're just doing, and we are almost mechanical, which isn't fun. We're not robots. We need to enjoy the process of what we are putting our energy to. So by giving ourselves 10 minutes even, or better yet, 30 to meditate, there's some awesome meditations on another YouTube channel I subscribe to called Great Meditations, and you can choose the theme, you can choose the length, and you just sit and do nothing. So that's one way to kind of build into your day breaks. You know, even as kids in school, you know, we got recess, we had time for naps, we had time to take breaks. We weed that out of our lifestyles as adults, but we still need to take a break. And we still need naps actually, but one thing at a time, right? So to manage your exhaustion, give yourself a break. Step 2, or another tool you can take away from this, is if you are like me in some ways, where I can meditate, but sometimes when I sit and meditate and do nothing, all I'm doing is zinging back and forth all the things I need to do when I finish meditating, right? I'm going over my to-do list, I'm circling around different worries, I am panicking a little bit about things I need to be doing instead of nothing, right? So my mind, my monkey brain, doesn't always stop when I take that rest. So if this is you, or if this is you sometimes, another helpful tool that I do is just to take those thoughts, put an action behind them, right? So if I'm worried about my audiobook, for example, right? I still haven't freaking released it. So when I think about that, and I take that thought, and my action is book a meeting to get the technical aspect of releasing it out, right? So that's the action. I have this thought, here's the action behind it, and then I plug that action into my calendar. Doesn't matter if I plug it into 3 weeks from now, but I'm taking that, you know, frenzied worry, choosing to do something about it, and plugging it literally into a time and date in the future that I can see coming. And what that does is it takes that worry and it puts it somewhere else. It puts it in its place. And maybe you have to do that with 5 or 6 different things, but that really helps me when I jump from, this bothers me, I don't have an answer, okay, I'm going to jump to this task, oh, when am I going to do that, I don't know, let's leave it for now, and then let's go over here, and this worry is still kind of hanging out. Okay, one at a time, put an action, a simple action behind that thought, and plug it in on a Tuesday morning, plug it in on a Friday afternoon, whatever works for you, but putting it in a space where you know you can return to that thought with an action in mind on a day that you have penciled in, right? And that will alleviate that feeling of worry and busyness that is the source of you feeling exhausted and overwhelmed, right? Put things in their place. And the third thing that you can do, and this is a big one and probably a tougher one than the other two, is if that's still not effective, if putting your worries and your thoughts and the reasons you're feeling overwhelmed into a place doesn't quite do the trick and you can't sit still any longer, write down everything that's going on. Kids to the dentist, need to study for an exam, I have to get this book finished, I'm behind on this deadline for a project, I'm going through a divorce and I've got all this paperwork to do. Whatever it is that you're struggling with, write down each of those big things. Write down the events or the tasks, and then choose which one you can let go of, right? Choose which one you can let go of, even if you're letting go of it for now. Maybe it's something that can wait until next month. You know, maybe it's something that you realize your sky will not fall if you just put it down for now. Because what's going to happen is if you don't let go of 1 or 2 or even 3 of the things that are taking up your world and taking up your mind and exhausting you, you're going to be the one to drop, right? And if you drop, nothing gets done, right? So it's either going to be you that doesn't get done, or a task. So put yourself in the driver's seat and look at all the things going on, and you decide what is it that you can set down, at least for now. What can you just remove from your plate that'll give you more space to do nothing, or to re-energize yourself in a way where you go back to enjoying the pursuit and the process of all the things going on in your life, right? It is not as difficult as you think once you sit down, even over your lunch break, and make a point out of assessing your own life and putting things away or putting things in the future or just putting things into silent mode for a good minute, right? So hopefully those 3 tools will help you if you're like so many of us right now, just feeling, life in crazy motion. The 3 things: give yourself a break daily, right? 10 minutes, 30 minutes is better, but give yourself the gift of silence. Plug in the things that you're worried about by putting an action behind them and putting them on a calendar date in the future, so you'll come to that in the future and you don't need it to be jumping around like a hungry kid. Maybe like a hungry animal. You can just know that this is going to be something you address in the future. And then the third thing too is write it all down. Write everything down and choose which one you can let go of for now. Because there is such a thing as doing too much. And if you're feeling sick, emotionally drained, exhausted, overwhelmed, those are huge signs you're doing too much anyway, right? So take charge. Help yourself feel better. Nobody else is going to do this for you. And hopefully you can give yourself the rest you need so you can do all these things that you love so much and the things that are important to you. All right, if you want to go deeper, I'm always around for a discovery coaching call, or I've got a few resources in the links below you can check out. But hopefully that helps you get through the rest of the week, and you have a great one. See you next time.